Well, thank you for meeting with me today, Terry. How's your day going so far?
Doing good, thank you.
Okay, well, just wanted to go over your performance review for this period. I did send it to you ahead of time. Did you get a chance to review it and go over it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions right now before we start?
No.
Okay. So let's start with the first section, quality. As you can see, I rated exceeds expectations. We are very happy with your consistent behavior with customer service. We get very positive feedback consistently regarding your customer service efforts. You maintain ideal levels of inventory with the method that you have in place for this right now. Additionally, we clearly show that sales have increased 24% since last year, so that is very good. Kudos to that. And that's something to be proud of.
Thank you.
Next section, productivity, independence, reliability. We rated you at meets expectations, and you are a reliable source that is able to complete your tasks and job duties with minimal supervision. You are reliable, and you're able to diligently prepare financial reports, select the quality and type of inventory that best fits the customer's needs at our hospital. You maintain vendor invoices and conduct good trainings and hiring of competent staff for the stores. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Next section is job knowledge, and we rated you at exceeds expectations. Reason is that your job knowledge, Terry, exceeds the normal expectations with your depicted behavior and performance with financial responsibilities, with the smooth operations of the store that we consistently get feedback on. Additionally, your job knowledge is reflected in the increased sales and the constant positive feedback that we receive from customer service relations. Lastly, your hiring and training of the staff expectations exceed the job knowledge as well.
Thank you.
Next section is your interpersonal relationships, cooperation, and commitment. We rated you meets expectations in this section. You meet expectations as we receive constant positive feedback from customer satisfaction. However, Terry, there is one area that needs improvement, such as effective communication needs to increase with your superiors and the staff. There has been some complaints regarding unresponsiveness to some text messages that they send you during work hours. And also for your direct supervisor, Bob, he constantly states that he has to remind you and check in on you to file your reports that are due to upper management. So that's something that has been brought up to our attention. Okay. Next section, we have your attendance. In this category, Terry, we do feel that there is room for improvement. Based on our documents, it shows that you have 12 unexcused absences and 22 unexcused tardiness. With that said, your attendance is prime area for improvement, as you have 12 unexcused absences and 22 unexcused tardies. Note, an unexcused tardy is clocking in more than 30 minutes late from the time you're scheduled to be on without notifying your supervisor. Okay, so like if you have an emergency or something comes up, we understand things happen. However, there's just that lack of communication with you and the supervisor, so it gets docked as unexcused. Okay. Also, we want to make sure that you're aware of our policy. So any time off, vacation time, you do have to submit it to your supervisor at least 2 weeks in advance, and it has to get approved for it to be categorized as excused. Okay. Next section we have initiative and creativity. This section, Terry, we rated you outstanding. You exceed expectations as your marketing creativity is reflected in your high sales by selecting the merchandise that meets the customer's needs. You're very good at doing that. Setting up the layout of the shop, creating a positive ambiance for the customers. You depict great initiative when we have heard many positive feedback from customers that come in outside of the business hours, and if you're around, you open up the shop for them to buy something special for one of their loved ones here in the hospital. So we want you just to know that we do see that and we acknowledge it, and that's why we rated you outstanding in that category. The next category is adherence to policy. We rated you meets expectations. You adhere to policies and procedures by following them and acting in alignment with all of them. However, your report filing system with upper management needs improvement, like we just talked about previously. It looks like Bob has to remind you, to send this in on time and remind you of your deadlines. Also, your availability to guide and provide support to the staff at the store during business hours. It's imperative as your direction and guidance is needed to the volunteers, the people that we don't pay and they volunteer at the shop, as well as those that are on the clock. Sometimes they get a little bit overwhelmed because they feel like they don't have your guidance and support and they feel like they're getting too much work, okay? The next section is lead. You exceed expectations, Terry, because you consistently exceed expectations in your sales, productivity. You provide excellent direction resulting in high productivity in sales. Your leadership skills are reflected with adequate coordination of volunteer staff, the way you set up the schedules, as well as our paid employees. You consistently exceed expectations with the store finances and the merchandise of the operations. Overall, Terry, your performance review exceeds expectations, which is very, very good. We're gonna go over some sections at the very end. The first one is accomplishments or new abilities demonstrated since the last review. Terry, we've seen that you demonstrated excellent innovative creativity with the aesthetics of the gift shop, the layout and ambiance created, which has attracted more customers, which has increased our sales, as well as managing inventory in a very effectively manner. The next area is specific areas that we feel that you can improve on, okay? Filing reports on time, again, we talked about this, and I'm very confident that you can do this, Terry. Being more available for staff and volunteers, providing guidance and support as needed, and replying to the text promptly during work. As I said before, we've gotten some complaints that they send you a text and they don't hear from you maybe like 2, 3, 4 hours after they send it. And also working on the unexcused absences and tardiness. Again, things come up, just more communication effectively with your immediate supervisor regarding that, okay? Do you have any questions, those four?
In regards to the attendance and the unexcused tardiness, there's a lot of times that I'm stuck in traffic and there's no phone service and I can't get through to even let my supervisor know until I'm already here.
Does Bob know this?
I've discussed it at one point with him, but we may need to go over that one again.
Okay, well, that's just something that he definitely probably just needs to be reminded of.
Okay.
If it's the phone service, I know sometimes phone services can lack in certain areas.
And that could be another reason with not responding to the text messages because the phone's not getting services in some areas of the hospital.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I will let Bob know, and I will note that on here. And then I will make sure that we take that into consideration. And maybe we can look into getting you a company phone with a better service, because I know inside of the hospital, some of the nurses and physicians, we provide them with an in-house phone that has good service, that's reliable. So maybe that'll be an option that we can look into. Okay, perfect. Thanks for bringing that up. Also, we have some recommendations for professional development for you. Some in-house trainings that the hospital usually provides. Those are not mandatory, but we suggest them and give them as an option to some of the supervisor, upper management staff. We feel that maybe we have some classes that are called Communicating Effectively, which gives you different methods and strategies on how to deal with communicating with staff when they're having some issues, not being compliant, or just better creative ways to get through to them. Also, we have some supervisor workshops. I checked the list and you haven't been on those, so I'm gonna make sure to tell Bob to put you on those to make sure we get those out of the way. And I think that those are gonna help with some of the issues that have come up here that are easily fixed. Okay, any other questions?
No, not at this time. It was just for the attendance and the responding to the text messages,
Okay, well, overall, we really appreciate you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
We thank you for your time, and we look forward to meeting here in another year, okay?
Thank you.
And then you can just sign off on that and then upload it so that HR gets a copy and I get a copy, so they see that we already did this, okay?
Okay. Thank you very
Terry.
much.